Welcome back again. Space wave propagation. So here we have seen a ground wave propagation and sky wave propagation. A space wave propagation is another different types and which is useful for high frequency transmitting applications and where this frequency is VHF and UHF frequencies. VHF and UHF frequencies. Seen as we have seen earlier, so to 230 megahertz is for these band of frequencies used for a skywave propagation, and here 100 to 400 megahertz of frequency, which covers both EHF band and VHF band, and microwaves. Even microwave frequencies also supports space wave propagation. And space wave propagation is limited to line of sight. Line of sight distance means limited by the curvature of L. These two limitations will have it. Next. And LO is the distance between transmitter and receiver, in which if a direct ray passes through the process from the transmitter to the receiver without being intercepted by the bulge in the atmosphere surface or any obstacle in the atmosphere surface. What the statement tells us. So let us take this is a surface of Earth. These are transmitting antenna and receiving antenna. So here, in between transmitter and receiver, we should not get any here, even though if there is some obstacles in between, but at least we should see from transmitter to at least we should be able to see the tip of receiving transmitter, receiving antenna. At least we should see tip of receiving antenna. And transmitting antenna must see at least top of the receiving antenna, and this distance is called as a line of sight distance. And this is line of sight distance cannot be maintained because of curvature of Earth. As see a maximum distance cannot be considered as a flat. See, if the Earth is flat, then we can maintain a line of sight distance between transmitter and receiver. Because if Earth is a curvature, definitely curvature. So this line of sight distance we can't maintain it to a longer distance. So maximum this is 16 kilometers. Line of sight distance can be maintained. The propagation occurs in troposphere region is a height ranging from 16 kilometers above from the head surface. Above from the head surface. Range. So here, as I said earlier, it should maintain a line of sight distance between a transmitter and receiver. What happens is, see, this is surface of Earth. Here, this is the surface of Earth. On Earth, I placed a transmitting antenna here. This is height of the transmitting antenna, and this is height of the receiving antenna. Okay, but this is the center of Earth, and the radius of Earth is 6370 kilometers. 6370 kilometers, and this tip of the transmitting antenna to the top of receiving antenna. This distance is called as a LOS, and which is equal to D. D is a LOS distance. And this distance between A and B is approximately same as if we consider Earth as a flat, this distance between A and B is D1 and distance between B and C is D2. So therefore, from this we can say that a total line of sight distance is sum of D1 plus D2. And we should write what is D1. D1 is this adjacent, this is hypotenuse. So therefore, hypotenuse minus 3 according to Pythagoras rule, uh, hypotenuse square is equal to adjacent square plus opposite square. So if you consider this, so D1 can be written as under root of HT plus HR whole square. See, this is hypotenuse. This is HT up to here HT and remaining R radius of Earth. HT plus HR whole square minus HR square L. See, from this height of the antenna, definitely see as the frequency is very, let us take here 400 megahertz frequency. Right? F is equal to 400 megahertz. So this wavelength or approximate electrical length of the transmitting antenna could be this C by F, right? But C is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second multiplied by 400 into 10 power 6. See this 400 megahertz. So these two and these two get cancelled. Here 2 will remain 10 square. So therefore 300 divided by 400. So this is 3 by 4 is which is equal to 0.75 meters. 0.75 is very very small as compared with the R. What is R? R is equal to radius of Earth, which is 6370 kilometers, and compare it only these two. So therefore we can omit this height of the transmitting antenna. So therefore now this equation is approximately which is equals to this can be neglected, height of the transmitting antenna can be neglected. So therefore d1 is approximately almost equal to under root of 2 or ht meters. Similarly d2 also, this is the distance d2, and this d2 is hypotenuse square minus adjacent square. So hypotenuse is a hr is the height of the receiving antenna, and radius of head this height minus r square. So similarly, uh, receiving in the antenna is also very very negligibly small as compared with the radius of head. So therefore, under root of 2 or hr meters, and this sum will become d is equal to d1 plus d2 under root of 2 or ht plus under root of 2 or hr. This is hr. So therefore, 2 root of 2 are common. So therefore, root of ht plus root of hr and this distance. Now see here the skip distance of space wave propagation is purely depending on height of transmitter and height of the receiver. Rather, it is constant, or radius of earth is a constant. We can't change. So as we know that height of the radius of earth is 6370 kilometers 10 power 3 nature, and this becomes, see, it's a 10 cube. This is also 6.3 into 10 power 6.37 is 12.74 into 10 power 6. So it comes out of root. So therefore 10 power 3 into under root of 12.74 this one. So therefore skip distance in space to propagation can get 3.570 under root of ht plus hr kilometers in terms of kilometers. Otherwise 10 power 3 meters is same as in kilometers. So therefore, the service area can be increased, means communication range can be increased by increasing this height of the transmitting antenna and height of the receiving antenna. So that is the line of sight distance. So space wave propagation is limited by the line of sight distance. Line of sight distance. Uh, in general, see another very important concept. There is a possibility of fading occurs in fading is possibility will be there. I'll draw the diagram here. See here, this, let us assume this is earth. Here is a transmitting antenna. Here a receiving antenna will be there. So therefore, what happens is uh, now this transmitting antenna signal radiates and reaches to the receiving antenna by direct wave. Direct wave. And some signals may be struck by the surface of earth and reaches to the receiving antenna again. So this is indirect wave. Indirect wave. This is transmitting antenna, the receiving antenna, and this is the earth. Now observe here. So therefore, at this point, at receiver, what happens is the signal strength available at the receiver, signal strength available at the receiver is vector sum of direct and indirect electromagnetic waves. Indirect EM waves or signal. Means here, as I said earlier in previous class, I explained that phase shift of the vector addition is depending on phase shift. Phase shift of wave is equal to the 2 pi is a total shift per wavelength multiplied by path difference. See, as we know that this is a path difference. Here, this direct wave traveled by less distance and indirect wave traveled by uh, high distance as compared to the direct wave. So therefore, the phase shift of this direct wave and indirect wave is not equal. So therefore, resultant of vector sum at the receiver will be decreased or delayed. And this is a concept of fading. Signal will get fade because of path difference. Say in some situations, what I explained in say if a path difference is lambda by 2, then the cancellation of direct wave and indirect wave, the cancellation will take place. So therefore, no energy is available at the receiver. And this is a cancellation. Right? If a path difference is lambda, then both the direct signal and indirect signals are in phase. So therefore, these two vectors will add together, will get a maximum value. So therefore, there is a possibility of signal fading because of direct and indirect radiations. There are many multiple number of waves will reach to the receiver. Each and every wave has a different path length. So obviously different phase shifts. So signal available, the resultant signal strength available at the receiver is vector sum of all the individual different waves travel by different distances. So therefore maximum fading will be fade, suddenly the fading occurs within space wave propagation. So therefore, frequency diversity and space diversity, time diversity, and phase diversity, all these diversities will be used to avoid this fading concept in space wave propagation. In next class, I am going to explain what is the frequency diversity, time diversity, phase diversity, and space diversity. All these diversity, how we are going to avoid the fading concepts in space wave propagations will be discussed in next class. And thank you so much. I'll stop here.